Alright, what's happening, you all? How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are super well. Welcome to another live stream. And let me do the usual thing, which is to just go live on a bunch of places, because that's how we roll, baby. We go live everywhere at the same time, and that's how we do it. That is how we do it. So let me actually share it on the Facebook group, and let me see. Yeah, here we go, boom. Let me share this on the Facebook group. I hope you guys are super well. Thank you for joining. Some of you guys have been joining. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm gonna talk about how to charge more for your digital marketing services and products, all right? Hope that you guys enjoy that type of deal, making more money. I sure do. All right, so we're good. I've shared it on the Facebook group. If you're not part of the Facebook group, you can come and join me. It's called Digital Marketing Strategies for Entrepreneurs. There's around 3,700 people in there. A lot of awesome folks. Pretty awesome. So, all right, how are you guys today? I hope you guys are super well. Today is the 16th of January. We're full on effect, 2 weeks into the year. It's been amazing. I hope you guys are super are excited as I am for this year. Damn, I have something there in my hair. Sorry about that. So, hope you guys are well. Thank you for joining me live. And you know, today I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how to charge more for your services and products, right? Whatever it is that you're selling, when it comes to anything that you're selling online and offline too, right? This applies for both online and offline. So whatever it is that you're selling, this might actually help you charging more for the exact same stuff, because there's a lot of people out there and companies, big companies already doing it. Like for instance, you know, when it comes to cars, right? There's a lot of companies that they manufacture, like literally manufacture the car in the same place. Like for instance, I think it's Volkswagen and Volkswagen and Audi. They're both manufactured on the same place. Like, you know, the engines are pretty much the same, the chassis is pretty much the same and whatnot. But the reality is that there's a big difference between, you know, in pricing between, I don't know, an Audi A5 and Volkswagen Jetta or whatever, right? So there's a big difference in price. And you might think, well, what's the main difference, right? Like, what's the difference between the two? Or for instance, the iPhone is manufactured in the same place, or many of the parts are being manufactured in the same place that a Huawei phone or I don't know, a Samsung phone, right? Now there's a big difference in price. So what's the deal so that, you know, companies can charge so much differently in terms of pricing and have a completely different pricing structure for the products and services, and how you can replicate it without being Samsung or Audi or Apple or, you know, Volkswagen, whatever. So the reality is that there's one thing that differentiates them all, which is the positioning of the product. Now, what do I mean with that? Well, you don't buy a Rolls Royce, like for instance, Rolls Royce and Bentley, right? Or whatever. If you want a car that will take you from point A to point B, maybe you don't buy a Rolls Royce. Now, if you want to make a statement, if you want to, you know, get to a meeting, or if you want to live a lifestyle, then you might buy a Rolls Royce. They both can take you from point A to point B, don't get me wrong, but one is a statement, the other is just a tool, right? So, and that happens with watches too. Like for instance, you know, Rolex watches and, you know, like Seiko watches, they're like pretty much the same components, the same parts and whatnot. Or Tudor and Rolex. Tudor is like a lesser brand of Rolex, and a Rolex can, you know, be 60 grand, and a Tudor you can pay like 3 or 4 grand for it. So the main difference of the product is the positioning, and that also applies for digital marketing. So for instance, I was talking to one of the people that it's on the Facebook group, and he's in India, great guy, super excited, really young. He's excited. He comes to the group. He asks a bunch of questions. He started following me on YouTube and whatnot. I'm super pumped for him because he's like really curious and whatnot, and I'm really excited to help him out. And he was saying, well, but I'm in India. How do I differentiate myself? And the reality is that there's a couple of ways that you can differentiate yourself. The way that I like the most in terms of positioning, how to position yourself as an expert, as an authority, so you can charge more, is by delivering good quality content, like I'm doing right now. So you go live or not, you can, if you're not feeling good on camera, you can just write blog posts, you can post on Instagram, whatever it is that you need to do to create content. That's step number one. Number two is to show that content to relevant audiences. On these cases, if you own a digital marketing agency, how you can position that digital marketing agency so that it's high level, high ticket, and people want to do business with you. Number two. And also number three is that you have some sort of conversion mechanism in the, the back end. So for instance, on my case, it's just, a book funnel. Or if you have a digital marketing agency, it can be, hey, sign up here or apply here to get on a call with us, right? That could be the conversion mechanism. So it's all about positioning. So for instance, I started charging, which is funny. I do make fun of this at some point. I started charging $4 or $3 a pop to write articles. I started writing articles online, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I started doing that, right? And I started doing websites on WordPress and templates and installing templates and whatnot for clients here in Argentina. And the reality is that I could only charge so much for that. I could only charge like $3 or $4 a pop per article, and then, write like, I don't know, maybe I could charge $200 for a website. But the minute I started positioning myself, the minute I started creating good quality content, the minute I started also, surrounding myself with people that was charging more, my mindset immediately changed. So that's why I can charge 5 to 10K a month on some specific clients to run their Facebook ads or to, help them with their strategy and whatnot, and people will pay for it, right? So it's a matter of positioning, and also it's a matter of experience, but it's a matter of quality of your service and also positioning. But 9 times out of 10, positioning is on your court. Of course, you need to develop and deliver a good service. Nobody would buy a Rolls Royce, and nobody would pay 300 grand for a car if you were driving down the street and it would fall apart. Nobody would ever buy it, or it would buy it like once, and it would be a public relations thing for Rolls Royce to take care of. But the point is that you need to have a good quality product, but you can charge 5, 10, 100 times more if you have the proper positioning in place. All right, so that's basically how you charge more. And now you need to think about how you can start positioning your product in a way that might be of a higher caliber, that could differentiate yourself from the rest of the world. Because if you're offering, let's say that I would be offering Facebook ads as a service, I would be commoditizing my service in a way that, they're a dime a dozen right now. Facebook ads experts, they're a dime a dozen. You can throw a coin somewhere and a Facebook ads expert will show up. You know what I'm saying? So they're a dime a dozen. But here it's a matter of how you position your product or your personal brand in this case to actually make a difference so that people will reach out to you and want to work with you. And if you get to that position, I did that because I hate selling on the phone. I'm really, really bad selling on the phone. And I really hate cold calling, cold emailing. So I had to take the longer approach, which was, positioning myself as an expert by doing this. And this is something that you can do too. And I don't like being peachy. I don't like being pushy. I don't like being salesy. Some people will enjoy that. Some people will just, go out there and do a million different stuff, but that's not my personality. That's not my case. So that is something that I found that's worked really, really well for me to position my personal brand, to position the services that I sell, or the type of courses and training that we sell at semanticmastery.com, for instance, and whatnot. So that is something I want to share with you guys today. I hope that this helps you. If it does, go ahead and share this, like it, comment, whatever you have to do so that you get notified and whatnot. And if you want to know, content and authority and position is just half the battle. If you want to know what's behind the content, like what's after somebody consumes your content, what's after somebody wants to do business with you, I strongly suggest that you get a copy of my brand new book. It's called Perpetual Profits. You can get it if you go to perpetualprofits.net. You can get a copy of the book. It's pretty cool. It's pretty inexpensive. It's $5.60. There's some additional stuff that you can add to your cart. It's not mandatory should you choose to do it. It's just, stuff that's there to increase the value that you're getting from me. but you know, the book itself is pretty good. I'm getting a lot of reviews. You can check them on the page and whatnot, and it will show you step by step what you need to have in mind in order to have a powerful funnel that will grab all of that authority that you have been creating, all of that positioning, and turn that into actual buyers, customers, and profit and money in the bank. All right, that's the sole purpose of Perpetual Profits. So you can get at perpetualprofits.net. I hope you have a killer Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. I hope you have a killer Wednesday. I'll talk to you guys really, really soon. Bye-bye.